Ladies and gentlemen, you want to know what the essence of an umbrella fund is, I think, otherwise it's not so easy to explain why you are clicking on this video. So allow me to elucidate why an umbrella fund bears this distinctive title and what it distinguishes as such. So primarily, let us dispel the notion that an umbrella fund is solely an umbrella fund. Rather, it embodies the concept of an umbrella fund structure. This distinction, ladies and gentlemen, is actually paramount, for nowhere within the realms of the jurisdiction you are going to encounter a singular umbrella fund. No, in the jurisdiction, these are referred to as multiple compartment funds. So introduced for the first time in Luxembourg, at least within the law of the 30th March of 1970. So quite a time ago. At least me, I was not existing at this time. I don't know about you. All right. So what does actually all this entail? Well, it means a fund that, well, is constituted out of many funds, and they are called subfunds or compartments. Each subfund, rigorously segregated, yet unified within the same legal framework, possesses its distinctive investment policy and thus its own investors, and so on and so forth. As a fund admin, these kind of situations are of particular interest. For example, when you are, well, administering a fund that has like 10 subfunds, well, and if they have a daily NAV to calculate, then you have like 10 NAVs to calculate, which can be, depending on the calculation itself, a little bit time consuming. Likewise, as a depository, it is also of interest, for you should know where you transfer money around and where not. Well, it is of course then also interesting to transfer agents, but not that much, for they are actually operating from a little bit of a different angle. All right, you may wonder why undertake such an endeavor. Firstly, it affords, of course, superior diversification opportunities. Amalgamating assets for, well, various investors across diverse asset classes is made possible thereby, and thereby also accommodating a spectrum of investment strategies within one fund. Well, and then one is also able to accommodate various risk profiles for these various investors. Well, and the nature of an umbrella fund inherent is that it is cost effective, since, well, I mean, like, it's one fund, it's one entity, but it is many funds. Well, that speaks for cost efficiency, hopefully. Thus, diversification, the primary rationale here, is also interesting from a management point, from a management perspective, when you are a fund manager, for example, because, well, it offers you a flexibility also in the structuring and organization of the fund. All right. From a regulatory point, it is also effective and efficient, as reporting occurs at the fund level and not at each sub-fund level, which is kind of nice. Especially when you have like super vast funds with like 10 or more compartments. Well, consider, for instance, as a fund admin, you are calculating the VAT for the financial year of the fund, in case you're dealing with an expansive umbrella fund. Therefore, it is quite nice. Of course, meticulously, you are itemizing allocations to their respective compartments. Yes, but executing such tasks collectively exemplifies operational synergies. That's how one could phrase it a little bit more fancy, if you like to speak in fancy terms, terminology. Yeah, here you go. So, moreover, cross-border marketing is also more easy facilitated. As you perceive, there exist manifold reasons to advocate for such a vehicular construct. So this rationale is, of course, particularly germane when, well, delving in the grounds of alternative investments, in the realm of alternative investments, where the landscape is actually unlimited. So we do find a myriad of opportunities contrasting the classical or the traditional investment milieu. So why then the nomenclature umbrella fund or umbrella fund structure? Why? Well, consider the term Schirmherrschaft. Its literal translation being the governance akin to a protective canopy like that. So ponder this. So it rains. So you unfurl your umbrella. What occurs? Well, undoubtedly you have deployed an umbrella. However, what transpires efficaciously beyond mere description? In the former scenario, you were susceptible to precipitation. Yeah, rain descended upon you. Well, in the latter, the climatic condition persists actually, unaltered, yet a paradigm shift transpires. You remain impervious to precipitation. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is owed, of course, to the mastery of the umbrella over the elements. Yeah, in essence, it is a mere figment of the imagination, predicated upon purely physical phenomena. However, we want to interpret it in a manner inducive to our understanding, aligning it with the human proclivity for explanation of such phenomena in the human context. Yeah. So, there you have it. This is everything that is behind the umbrella fund or umbrella fund structure, the essence of it. Now, should you find this video actually interesting or useful, then give it a like. And if you generally want to be up to date regarding the AIF industry and its regulatory frameworks and whatever that may be belonging to this industry, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Otherwise, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Thanks.